Hello class. Chapter Life Processes Digestion in Human Beings. You know that the process of digestion starts with ingestion. Ingestion means taking in of the food. The food is going inside the mouth or the buccal cavity. We are having holozoic nutrition, meaning that the food moving in a particular track or the tube like structure having two openings, mouth and the anus. Accessory organs are those organs which are helping in the process of digestion, and essential organs are responsible for digestion where the food is moving. First of all, food goes to the buccal cavity or the mouth, then to the esophagus. From there, it goes to the stomach portion. From the stomach, it goes to the small intestine, but in between, the large intestine is capturing the area, but the food goes to small intestine, to large intestine, finally to rectum, and moves out the undigested part through the anus. So, this way, in a tube, the food is moving, and it is called holozoic nutrition. Accessory glands such as salivary glands, which are helping, then liver, pancreas, are also the part which are helping in the process of digestion. The process of digestion starts from mouth and the buccal cavity. In the mouth, when you are taking in the food, teeth and tongue are present. With the help of the tongue, you are moving the food inside the buccal cavity or the mouth. And teeth are helping in cutting, crushing, grinding, chewing of the food so that food can be broken down into smaller pieces, and now the food is called bolus. During this process, tongue plays a very important role, not only helping in tasting the food but also in the swallowing of the food. Salivary glands producing the saliva also mixes during this process when the food is inside the buccal cavity. There are 3 pairs of salivary glands which are present inside our mouth: parotid, mandibulary and sublingual. Saliva converts starch in the food into sugar and also soften the food. It helps in lubricating the food so that food can easily move in the esophagus. The tongue helping in tasting of the food. It is a muscular structure without any bone, having large number of taste buds responsible for the movement and mixing of the food with the saliva and helps in the process of swallowing. The teeth which are present are of different types. So we are having, as you can see, the different shapes of the teeth. So we are known as heterodonts. having different type of the teeth shape. We are diphodont because we have two set of teeth, that is permanent and milk teeth. Then the food moves to the esophagus from the buccal cavity. In between there is a structure called epiglottis which covers the windpipe. Just now you can see, so that food will move towards the food pipe, not towards the windpipe. There is no process of digestion taking place in esophagus. The movement is taking place with the help of contraction and relaxation of the muscles of the esophagus. Now the food reaches to the stomach. This food, now called bolus, when the food is coming out of the mouth to the esophagus, it is bolus. This bolus reaches to the stomach where HCl is present, hydrochloric acid, a very concentrated, and 3/4 of stomach is filled with this hydrochloric acid. Now this hydrochloric acids actually activates the pepsinogen enzyme so that digestion of protein can take place. Pepsinogen, which is responsible for the protein digestion, acts only in the acidic medium, gets activated, forms the pepsin for the protein digestion. Several microorganisms which are coming inside with the food and water are also being killed in the stomach. The churning movement of the walls of stomach helps to make the food to be converted into very small pieces, and now the food is called chyme. This chyme is broken down so that smaller dissolved particles can be formed from the complex food that comes from the esophagus in the form of bolus. Now from there the food moves to the small intestine, which are actually very large, approximately 36 feet. Now these small intestine are not only helping in the process of digestion but are responsible for absorption of the nutrients from the small that food which has come, or the chyme that has come from the stomach. The small intestine is divided into three parts. The first part is duodenum, having an opening by the liver and pancreas through the hepatopancreatic duct. Liver. In the liver the food is not going, but liver is secreting bile. This bile is corrected by the gallbladder. The purpose of this bile is for the emulsification of the fat. You have seen the carbohydrate digestion partly takes place in the buccal cavity. The protein digestion takes place inside the stomach, but this bile helps in the emulsification. So the liver is producing that bile. The pancreas is very important. Again, it is an accessory organ. Its exocrine function is to produce pancreatic amylase, trypsin, bicarbonates, lipases, enzymes for the different activity or digestion of the different nutrient material, such as lipase for the lipids, trypsin for again further degradation of the proteins to convert it into amino acids, pancreatic amylase, the remaining digestion of the carbohydrates, because in the mouth only 30% have taken place. So these liver and pancreas, with the help of a common duct opening into a small intestine duodenum portion, which helps to digest all that food material. After that, there is no process of the digestion, only the digested part is being absorbed by the small intestine so that it can go inside the bloodstream and can be circulated to the different parts of the body. The food consumed is digested, is now ready to be absorbed into the blood. That is done by the small intestine. During this process of absorption of food in the small intestine, the large surface area in case of small intestine is created by finger-like projections called villi. If we'll see, numerous villi are present which are in constant touch with this chyme. This chyme is now called chyle. Large surface area, so more of it. They are having a large number of capillaries and lacteal cells present which are helping in the absorption of the nutrients and passing it through the bloodstream to the different parts of the body. The purpose of these villi is to increase the surface area so that more and more absorption can take place. Now see, the food is moving in the blood vessels so that it can reach to the different parts of the body for the nutrient requirement or for the other metabolic processes. During this complete process in the small intestine, the water or the chyme is in the liquefied form so that all maximum dissolved nutrients can be absorbed. But the remaining undigested and unabsorbed food enters the large intestine with a large amount of the water. Large intestine, though smaller in size, absorbs water only. And this absorption of water causes the solidification of the undigested food. And this solidification of the undigested food after the absorption of the water forms the fecal matter. This fecal matter for certain time period get stored in the rectum portion of the large intestine and finally excreted out through the anus. Different sphincter muscles are responsible for the opening and closing of the anus so that undigested food can move out of the body. Thank you.